Now then, people, hope you're all doing well. Let's see, Luke's just joined in the chat. So we've got 3 viewers waiting already, and it's welcome back to Diary of a Plumbing and Heating Engineer. We're going to be joined by Luke from Bulldog Plumbing and Heating soon. Hi, Daniel. Hope you're all doing good. Thank you. We have an avid watcher of the channel. So yeah, it's been a long time. Last time we had Dan from Central Heat King on, and I think it was a success, to be honest. I think people learned a lot from about Dan and how he got into the trade. So yeah, hopefully we can try to do a lot more of these, and hopefully next time we do it, it's not going to be as hot because I'm sweating my tits off here. So I'm going to welcome Luke into the. Hi Luke, how are you doing?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
Good, yeah, not too bad, thank you. I don't know about where you are, but it's red hot here.
Mate, I am screaming. Luckily, I got my DeWalt fan in from the van, so I've got that down by my legs. But yeah, he's screaming up, mate.
Good. Your name dropping, son. You name dropping, son. Oh. How are you today? Have you had a good day?
Yeah, it's been good, mate. It's just been crazy busy again. Been on a big conversion. I've had quotes to do again after work. So yeah, I think I got in about 7 o'clock. Managed to have my tea, and yeah, straight on here.
Straight on here, on the grind, working hard as always.
That's it, mate.
Just got back from holiday, haven't you?
Yeah. Not last week, the week before. Got back from Canada, and stupid me went straight to work the next day. So yeah. Proper bad
jet lag then.
Yeah, really bad, mate.
Fair enough. Good time over there.
Yeah, it's something different, mate. It's something out of the norm. Well, normally we do like, the Canary Island and stuff like that. But this was like a city break in Montreal. A lot of walking for the kids. So I think we racked up about 20,000 steps a day. But it was good, mate. Really good experience.
Good. Yeah, place I'd love to go, but I imagine it's a bit of a expensive do going all the way over there.
Yeah, it's cost me a fortune, mate, to be honest with you.
Are you playing catch up then at the moment with work?
Yeah, I mean, before I left, I had a big block of work. It was like a big job. So that put me, I had people phoning for work, so I couldn't book them in. Then I had the holiday, then I had another block of work. So yeah, I think I'm booked up now till October. So yeah, it's gone crazy busy, mate.
No, it's good that you're busy. Everyone seems to be busy at the moment, to be fair. I think it doesn't look like it's going to be quieting down anytime soon.
No, definitely not.
Before we get into all the usual stuff, if anyone that is watching has got any questions for either myself or Luke, do drop a comment and I will we'll get the question added. So I might as well get straight into it and save messing about. And I suppose you've probably got better places to be than on here with me. So where did it all begin for you as a plumbing and heating engineer?
When I was about 15, to be honest with you, like a lot of people, I had my dad. He was in the trade. So on the weekends when he used to do his jobs on the side, I used to go out with him just to help him out, just like, pass him fittings, help unload the van. And I've really, really liked it. So when I left school, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. I think my parents wanted me to go down the university route and that, but that just wasn't for me. I did my work placement in an office and sitting on my arse all day, mate, it was horrible. I just got really bored. I think at one point I did actually fall asleep. They had to wake me up. So when I was out with my dad, working with him, I just enjoyed going to different places. I liked the graft, the physical side of it, and being on my feet all day. So yeah, when I left school, I got myself on a plumbing course. After a year, I got myself on the gas course, and yeah, that's where it all started, mate, with my dad.
Did you do your apprenticeship with your dad then?
Yeah. So what I did was, if I remember right, it was 2 days with my dad and 3 days at college.
Right. Right. Yeah. How did you find it working for your dad then?
No, from the early years was good. I did enjoy it, but as I got older and I started to learn more, I think we kind of clash. I think people do this with. I remember speaking to Danny. He said he does it. You kind of clash because you think you know better, and he's your dad. He's going to know better. But yeah. I do enjoy working with my dad. To be fair.
Yeah, good. I don't think I could. I think me and my dad got that sort of relationship. I don't think we'd work well together.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair play for you for doing that. So how did you find your apprenticeship? Did you find it hard? What challenges did you find when going through your apprenticeship? What were your dislikes, and if you've got any tips for any apprentices that are watching, what have you got?
So doing it with my dad, like I think I got a lot more support than what younger lads do nowadays that working for a company that don't even know. Because my dad had the patience and had the time to actually help me. First bit of advice I give any apprentices is make yourself useful straight away. Learn where stuff goes on the van and what stuff is. So when you come to pack away at the end of the day, you put it away. When they need something, you know exactly where it is. I found to start with, if I did that, I was useful. So make yourself useful. Challenges, I'd say, trying to do the job in the day, then studying on the night. Because you're trying to learn at college and you're trying to learn on site. So it can really blow your mind sometimes. So yeah, I remember that, like trying to get home from work, doing getting in the books and learning all my gas and that. So that can be a bit hard. So I'll say to the younger lads, manage your time. Definitely manage your time. It is hard for younger lads though, because when you're young, what do you want to do on a weekend? That you want to get out with your mates on the pop, you know what I mean? But if they can, just prioritise your career early doors, because it'll just pay off in the long run. You know, you got all your 20s to party. You know, the early years, just get your head down, get that qualification, then you can do what you want.
Yeah, unless you do me and have a kid at 21, and yeah, it's then. So yeah. Before we move on to any more questions, we'll get a couple of questions in the chat. So Daniel, any tips for getting your name out there?
So when I first started, I found the one thing that got my name out there the most was Facebook groups, local village groups. They're really, really good. So what I found was you do one job on there and you start getting recommendations of people. So the more jobs you do on there, what I did on the early days was prioritise Facebook work, because I found that it has a massive word of mouth effect. So that is really good for getting your name out there, definitely.
Yeah, I still use all the local Facebook pages, and even now getting work, and you build that, like I say, you build that reputation up, and hopefully you'd like to think that them customers then recommend you when they see it. If you don't see it first, they're tagging you then.
That's it, yeah. I'll say once you get your name out there, you do a few jobs, you find that someone put on there, anyone know a plumber or gas engineer, and all of a sudden you're tagged about 3 or 4 times. So yeah, then I'm really good for getting your name out there.
Yeah. I always find though with Facebook ones, if you're not like one of the first to get recommended, half the time you don't end up actually getting a job, because they just go for the cheapest person at first one.
Yeah, I do find that as well. Yeah, you do have to get in there quite quick. I mean, early doors, my wife and the mother-in-law and a few of my mates would try and get in there quick and tag me, but sometimes they tag you in the worst jobs. Like, does anybody know who can unblock a masquerade? And you're like, don't put my name down. You know, I don't want to do that.
We always tag I say my last team tagged me in the worst jobs. I'm like, I really didn't want that job, but now I've got it. Thanks. So another question from Ginger Jason. What's your favourite tool that you have in your tool bag?
Mine's really simple. It's the compression nut spanner. One end does 15mm, one end does 22. I'll just find that, and that in my bag is amazing. What a great tool that is. Cheap as well.
Do you find it fits all like 15mm nuts, all 22mm nuts, or do you find it sometimes they don't fit all? So I keep needing to get one, but that's a bit wary of, like, because I know some nuts are slightly bigger than others. Yeah. And
I do find that some of the 15mm mainly, TRV valves, stuff like that, it won't fit some of them. Not all of them. I'd say 95% it will fit. There's only a few that it won't fit. But for under a tenner, it's a no-brainer. It's a really good tool.
Which one do you have? Because I know there's quite a few on the market.
Oh, I think mine's called Silverline or something. I don't know. I think it was on Amazon for about £7 or £8 at the time. So I was like, well, if it's not good, it's only £7. But yeah, it's one of the best tools in my tool bag now.
Yeah, it's what they use more. It's always best. The cheapest ones are always the best ones.
Yeah.
Right, last question before we move on from the main man himself, Dan. Do you both have any subscriber targets you're working towards? So I know you're more predominantly TikTok, aren't you, rather than YouTube? So what targets do you have across all your social medias, or do you not have any targets? You just do it for the sake of it?
I do like to set myself little targets, something to aim for, because I've got that competitive nature in me. So if I've got a target, I'll do my best to try and hit it. So at the moment with TikTok, it's to get to 20,000, because I'm about 17,500 on there. With YouTube, it was to get to 1,000, but now I'm closing on 1.5. So I'm looking to get about 1.5 subscribers on YouTube and Insta. That is a grind, that is, man. Jesus.
I find
I
with
think,
Insta you've got to be uploading every day, otherwise, and you
yeah,
just sometimes you just hit it right, don't you? With Insta, you can be a flop, or you can just go. You
yeah,
just get so many likes and follows, especially off reels and stuff like that.
yeah. I say Insta's it is a bit of a grind, and I find like I do prefer TikTok to Instagram, so I'm more of a TikToker. But yeah, Instagram, if we can get to 1,000, I'll be happy with that. And I think I only started that in May. I was on about 150, and I'm up to nearly 700 now. So I'll say I'm happy with that.
Oh, you're doing well, thanks. Yeah, I think YouTube probably out of the three is the hardest, especially
Yeah,
to get subscribers, because the algorithm and everything with YouTube I think it's a lot harder than the other two.
yeah,
I've recently moved into Facebook as well after copying Dan. He told me about it, so I thought I'd go in there, and that's just started going up as well. And I've heard a few people saying it's the next big social media. I know it's been around for years, Facebook, but the Facebook pages is like the next big one.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I've stepped into that.
I've got my Facebook set up. I've had it set up years, and
Yeah.
only the other week, I think I just took a reel off Instagram. I put it on Instagram. I think it got like 2,000 views. And I put it on Facebook, and it's got like nearly 300,000 views. I don't know what's happened with that, but it's crazy. It's same content, just different platform.
Yeah, it's mad. I find like you say, one video can do really well on one platform, and you put it on the exact same video on another, it doesn't hit at all.
Yeah,
Whether
I
there's
say,
different people, like different age groups watching on different social media. So I imagine like TikTok might have a bit of a younger generation.
yeah,
You're not gonna have 50-year-old men watching videos on TikTok. I wouldn't imagine. If you are, I'm a bit worried. But like yeah, different audiences and different platforms.
yeah. I have found that. I
Yeah.
found like you have to do different content for different platforms. You really do. It can be really like sometimes I really can.
Yeah, it's a lot of grind, especially when like yourself, you're self-employed, you're working all day, and then you're coming home to edit videos and upload videos. It can take a bit of a toll on you, can't it? I know from
Just a bit.
first-hand experience there. And going back to my targets, I don't really have any targets for anything else other than YouTube. My biggest target is to hit 8,000 by the end of the year. I'm on 7.5. So if you haven't subscribed and you are watching, please do subscribe because it would mean a lot to get there before the end of the year. And I'm 15 people off 5,000 on Instagram. So if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you haven't subscribed to that side, Luke, please do subscribe to Luke as well. All these links are in the description below, so you can go find his YouTube, his TikTok, and his Instagram. All links there. So do make sure you do subscribe. So moving on swiftly, let's move over to plumbing and heating as a whole. What are your main dislikes and likes and dislikes? What jobs do you like doing? What jobs do you hate doing, basically?
So I love doing breakdowns on boilers. Absolutely love it. That's probably yeah. I'll say before I went self-employed, I worked for British Gas as a breakdown engineer, and I found that was what I loved about the industry. Like before that, I'd done other work like install, servicing, stuff like that. But as soon as I started doing breakdowns, that's where I fell in love with it. So I can go out and fix a boiler. Absolutely buzzing. Really do like it. Dislikes bathrooms. I've knocked them on the head now. I'm not doing them anymore. Not worth the aggro. Not worth going out to quote. I think to do bathrooms, you've got to be specialist in it. You really have. You just got to do bathrooms. Full stop. That's it. As a plumber trying to do it, I found it impossible. I think I've done it for nearly 2 years now, and yeah, I got messed about by another trade trying to get quote for another one, and that was it for me. I was like, done. I ain't doing no more.
Yeah, no, I'm same. I've just just recently. I'm starting another one next week. I am stopping doing bathrooms, but I've got 2 bathrooms booked in for the rest of the year, and they were pre-booked in before I decided no more.
Yeah.
Same thing. They're just a headache, absolute pain in the ass, and they've recently come back to bite. Not come back to bite me, but they've cost me a lot of money. So yeah,
Yeah.
like I've had enough of them as well. So I feel your pain there. I really do. And in regards to boiler repairs, I don't really do much boiler repairs, but I think that's just down to experience. Like I never really, since going self-employed, I've just done less and less boiler repairs. So I'm not feeling comfortable. When I do one now, I don't feel confident and comfortable doing one. So I don't do as many as I used to do. But I am thinking about going on some fault finding courses and stuff like that, just to get back into it, because I know there's good money in boiler repairs and boiler servicing.
Oh
I
yeah,
suppose
definitely.
with yourself being at British Gas, like you mentioned, you'll have been doing that day in day out, so you'll know it like back of your hand, won't you?
Yeah, exactly. They say when you're at British Gas, they have really good training. They have the tools and support there. One thing I found that helped me out the most was manufacturers helplines, and most of them really good. They'll really want to try and help you. So yeah, if anyone's watching that's wants to get into breakdowns, like, don't be scared of them, man. The manufacturers helpline's always there. They are really good.
Yeah, I think I need to do the fault finding course and the multimeter course, because when it comes to electrical, like diagnostics with electricals, I'm too afraid of blowing that PCB doing a test. So I really do got a multimeter course to learn how to do it properly. I do know the basics, but yeah, I suppose it's just like anything else. If you're not doing it day in day out, you don't have the confidence to do it.
That's the thing at British Gas. When I was doing breakdowns, if I messed up, like, I could order a part for the next day. You know what I mean? Like, when you make it on your own, if you mess up, like you said, if you blew up a PCB, guess what? You ain't buying a new PCB because it was your fault. So I can see self-employed people where the confidence comes into it. Like at British Gas, you kind of got that safety net. When you make it on your own, you've got to get it right, else it's costing people money.
Yeah. So going back to British Gas and yourself being self-employed, so obviously you started with your dad. So did you go from working with your dad straight to British Gas then?
No, to be honest with you, when I got first qualified, I couldn't get a job. 2 months before I was taking my exams, because I worked with my dad, but the company he worked for, they helped me out, and they was going to pay for all my exams. And 2 months before then, they went bust. They lost 2 big contracts, but all their eggs in one basket. Then I think it was Birmingham City Council never renewed the tender, so they lost it. So yeah, they went bust. So I was 2 months before my exams, and I had no money to pay for it. Luckily, my mum and dad lent me the money, and I got past them, and couldn't get a job. Just could not get a job anywhere. I mean, I had to write letters. I mean, we're going back now. I'm writing letters to people, writing letters out to companies, like saying, "Look, I'm willing and eager to get a job." And finally, one of them got in touch with me. The reason they got in touch with me is because their gas engineer got off sick and they had nobody. And I said, "Look, I'll start the same day." And literally, I started the next day. But the company was awful, absolutely awful. Looking back on it, their management people really didn't know what they was doing. I mean, the first job they gave me was to install a full central heating system. When I was 18, it was my first job. And the day I ordered the right stuff, I don't have no tools. Really, I don't have the right tools to do it. It's just a nightmare. So I lasted there about 9 months. Then I found a local company that was doing council work. I was servicing the boilers for them. That was an experience and a half. That was. It really was. I mean, it got me used to boilers, but it got me used to people as well, especially on the council. You go in some right dives and meet some right dodgy people, but it toughens you up, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So
you get an insight to how some people live. It can be scary sometimes to think that people live like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've walked into properties, man. I'm like, can you just move the needles off the fireplace? I need to service the fire. You know what I mean? Like it's wrong, really bad.
It's mad that to think like people do live like that, and they're not ashamed of it either. To let you into the house and to do work in there, it's bad. So from working for this company, how then did you go on to working for British Gas?
So that company, they actually lost that council contract, and there's a company called Warm Shower. You might have seen their orange stickers on ISARs and ICOSs. They work with a company called...
I'm sure I've heard that before,
Yeah. Worked with a company called Eager. Warm Shower was farmed by Eager and Ideal Boilers. So I got a job with them. So Eager used to fit the boilers for people claiming benefits. You could claim a boiler, basically. Yeah. Then Warm Shower's job was to go in and do the service and maintenance. So I got a job with them. But we was trained by Ideal. This is when they was throwing in ISARs and ICOSs. So we got trained down Ideal at the factory. And I've done about 2-3 years with them, but I was only a service engineer. So what I did was, I had a word with the manager. I was like, "Look, can I go out with a breakdown engineer, like on my days off?" Because they wouldn't give me no training, but I was like, "On my day off, can I go out with someone?" So I really want to get into breakdowns. Like, yeah, no problem. That ain't going to cost us anything. Go and do him. So when some training did come up, I managed to get onto that. And after that, there was no breakdown positions. But I said to him, just give me some breakdowns. I'll do them for the same wage as a service engineer, just to get some experience. So I did that. And then that company went bust as well. They actually went bust. Every company I've worked for, I swear to God, every company I've worked for has gone bust. Up until now, it's gone
You're getting a reputation for yourself here.
I know, yeah. So yeah, they went bust. And there was two companies. The AA, they was just starting up, trying to get their breakdown company going, and British Gas, and I applied to them both. And they asked me if I got any breakdown experience. I was like, yeah, I'm really good at breakdowns. And I wore the best, to be honest with you. But I managed to get an interview. When I was in the interview, I didn't really think I was going to get the job, but I walked in there thinking, right, I'm the man for this job. I'm going to get it. And I just said to him, I said, look, whatever I don't know, I'll pick up straight away. And yeah, managed to impress him on the interview. Then I had to go down for a practical exam. Then I had to do another interview. Then I got the job with British Gas. So yeah, that was when I was 26. I got the job with them. They put me all through my training and that. And yeah, that's when I started British Gas when I was 26.
So how? Because I've heard mixed experiences with British Gas. How did you find it with them? And like, at what point did it get to? So you went self-employed? Did you go on your own terms or what?
So when I first started, I walked in, I thought everything was great. But the older boys, as soon as I walked in, said, "Oh, I tell you what it used to be. It never is. It's times change." I remember the manager I had. You could take him two ways. He was pretty stern, to be fair. Some of the lads, they like him. Some of them pull up with him. I actually liked him. I liked his management style because if you've done something wrong, he would tell you. He'd say, look, you've done this wrong. How can we improve? And he'd always say that. How can you improve? What did you do wrong? But sometimes he'd always think he was right. And even though he was wrong, he'd never admit it. But he did make me a better engineer, to be fair. Then we got changed manager again. And we got different manager. And this way started going downhill when they started changing managers way too often. We got another manager and he was complete opposite. He was so laid back. He was horizontal. He just let the lads get away with murder. So the patch was going downhill pretty bad. Then we got another manager, changed it all round. I mean, at this point, it's still a great company to work for. You get all the training, all the lads there, great. But then we got a new, like the top end boss CEO, we got a new one called Chris Alshay. And his first task was straight after lockdown was to introduce foreign rehire. So what he basically said was, we're going to change all your contracts. You're going to work longer hours for less pay. One of the things in there was quite a few things in there, but we used to get double time after 10 o'clock at night. It was going down to like a time and 20%. Like it was proper bad cuts.
Proper cutting. They were cutting back.
Yeah, cutting your holiday, cutting your pay, cutting everything basically, increasing your work areas, stuff like that. So it just came for the worst. And he basically said was, don't sign the contract, we're going to fire you. And this was straight after COVID.
Ridiculous. I think I remember all of this being in the news and it coming out when it happened. It's ridiculous that a big company like that can get away with it.
Yeah.
For everything you've done for him over years, that they'd treat you like that. It
was pretty bad, mate. We don't know it. So they went in with the union. They put this. They said, "Well, we want to change contracts." And the union straight away said, "No way am I doing that." Then the week later, there was like, "Fine, we're going to fire everybody." And the union's like, "You can't do that. We haven't even negotiated." And to be fair, there's a court hearing in December because it's still going on. Actually, they're still, our union's still taking British Gas to court over it. How well they do, I don't know. But it went back and forth with the unions right until the week before Christmas. And to be honest with you, British Gas were hounding us to sign these contracts because they put the deadline the week before Christmas. They said, "We're going to sack you a week before Christmas if you don't sign."
Ridiculous. That it's like no morals.
No morals at all, mate. So we came to them and said, "Well, we're going to go on strike." So then they said, "Okay, we're going to extend it to March." So we come back with, well, okay, we're still going to strike anyway, and we planned our strikes for after Christmas because we didn't want to do it over Christmas because obviously people have got families and paying money, the need was out there, so we don't want to upset anyone's Christmas before first week of Jan. We're all going to go on strike. I think we went on strike for 2-3 days every week up until April, and I was one of them done every day. I never thought they'd actually go through with it, but come end of March. I left it up until the point my manager phoned me to say, I'm coming to get the keys to your van now. This is it. This is the end of your employment. I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah. And I had to sign the contract. It's either that or not pay the mortgage. I mean, I was struggling financially anyway from going out on strike. But yeah, I was like, I'll sign it. So I kept my job. And it was, because it was the spring, I thought, not the best time to set up as a heating engineer when you got summer around the corner.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'm going to bide my time. I'm going to start putting a logo together, name for the business, stuff like that. I've got someone to sort that out. And come the winter, I landed my notice, and that was it. Went self-employed.
Right.
Pretty scary though, because we'd only bought the house a month before. We bought this house we're in now a month before British Gas announced they're doing the fire and rehire, and it's quite a big mortgage, to be honest with you. So yeah, it was pretty scary. 2 kids, wife to support, being self-employed. So I was like, well, I've got the experience. I can go and get a job somewhere else if it does go wrong. But I mean, touch wood, it's gone brilliant so far. So yeah, that's where I am. I went on my own November 2021.
Bloody hell. So you're very experienced then. Just like I'm total opposite. I went self-employed at 19, so when I went self-employed, I had no experience.
Yeah.
I had to teach myself, so we're complete opposites here. But fair play for you for going self-employed later in life, because I know a lot of people after they get past a certain age, they're a bit not scared to go self-employed, but like you say, you've got a mortgage, you've got family, you've got kids. It's a big risk. Where with myself, I was 19. I was living at home with my mum. I had no risk to take. You know what I mean? Yeah. So yeah, so fair play for you doing that. So how have you found being self-employed then? How did you find setting up? How did you come across? How did you pick your name for a start? It's a bit of a different name. It's not a standard name you would see like your usual team and or someone's name, Blue Bulldog.
Yeah.
How did you come across the name?
So when I was going to set up the business, I wanted something that stuck out. And if anyone watching my TikToks, I've got the gaffer, Boris. I've got a Bulldog myself. I've always wanted one since I was 6 or 7. I've always loved Bulldogs. So when I got my own gaff, the first thing I did was buy a Bulldog. But Bulldog heating was taken. So I did a little bit of market research, and what I said was, if you put a colour and an object or an animal together, people will find it a lot more. They'll remember it a lot more, and it'll stand out. Yeah. And I thought, well, I'll double barrel it. It was a lot BB, so it was Blue Bulldog. That's where it come from, really. Just come from Blue.
Really catchy, and like as soon as you hear it, you remember it straight away. So yeah, it's good.
I just wanted something that was that I could use as like I didn't really want it to be like I dream big, I do. So I thought I want something that's going to stand out. I always had social media in the back of my head as well, so I wanted something to stand out on there as well. Because a lot of people, they'll go for like they'll put the initials together, then put heating and plumbing at the end of it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, a lot of people do that, but mine just stands out there. You don't forget it once you've seen it. So
yeah, I was the same. I dreamed big and thought, right, I don't want my name there, because I used to work for a company where Neil Stevens, and every time I turn up at a job, they'd go, "Oh, hi Neil." I'm like, "No, I'm not Neil. I'm Macaulay." Neil's my boss. So I wanted somewhere where, like, if I did employ people or a group of lads in the future, then it'd be a brand, and like you say, it's worked well with social media. Because when I first set up, I had no idea not no idea of social media, but I had no idea the volume of plumbers and heat engineers on social media and how well it can actually work. It's the best thing I've ever done, to be fair. Yeah. So we'll quickly move over to social media since we're on the subject. How and why did you get into social media? Like, I know you said did you start with TikTok? Did you say?
Yeah, started with TikTok. Yeah.
So what made you jump into the TikTok game?
So what I was doing for advertising my business was doing what everyone does, putting photos out there. But I come across someone's post. I think it was on Facebook, but it was a TikTok, and they actually put like this reel together and done the transitions, and it was really good. It was like start to finish. I thought, that's amazing. Like it had me drawn in. Like I think it was like a landscaper. Like I got no I don't landscape my garden, but I watched that thing from start to finish. Thought that's amazing. How do you do that? And I looked at TikTok. And I never even thought of TikTok at the time. I thought, well, let's have a go. So I think I've still got it in my profile. I thought I'd chuck a TikTok out there, and I think it got 10 logs. I was like, no way, I got 10 logs on that. That's amazing. Then when I started going into it, I realised there was other plumbers on there, and they was putting like videos out there. I thought, oh, I could do this. Like I've got experience there. I think I know what I'm doing. Let's give it a go. So I put a video together, me changing the cylinder in the loft. So I just explained how I did it, how I got it up there, put a bit of comedy in there, and put it out there. I thought, if that gets 20 logs, I'll be chuffed with that. And I woke up the next day and it had like 5,000 views. I was like, bloody hell, this is mad. And like a few hundred logs. I thought, let's do another one. And I started doing long. But as I was going along, I can explain what I'm doing here. Like, I know it's only 2-3 minutes, but it might help somebody out. So I started doing a bit more detailed and putting some more information out there. And yeah, it just grew from there. I mean, I think I hit 1,000 followers pretty quick. Like I was waking up every day to like 100 new followers. So I just started putting them out there, and same with any social media. I just had one video that just blew up. I think it's on nearly 3 million views now, and that's what really propelled me up. And as I started looking into it, I set up an Instagram account, but I realised like there was more content creators out there that were across other platforms that were doing a lot more on social media, and it was actually leading to things. So I thought, you know what, I'm actually could take this proper serious now. And yeah, it just went from there. It was mad because like I was just ticking along in that, and out of nowhere, well, Baxi got in touch with me. And it was like, I think I went on their training day, and I found it really interesting. And I did a few videos, and I did a video on the Baxi training day. And a week later, they got in touch, said, "We've got a new boiler coming. Do you want one? Do you want to fit one?" Did the video for us, and yeah, I was like, "Okay, yeah, how much for the boiler?" I was like, "No, we'll give you the boiler, whatever you want. If you film you fitting it and put it on your TikTok, that'll be great." I was like, buzzing. Yeah. I've done the video for that. Then there was like, "Do you want to come to the live launch?" I was like, absolutely. So next thing I know, man, I'm with Baxi at the live launch. Like, I'm like an elephant in a tree at the moment. I'm like, I don't know how I got here, man. I don't know how I'm getting down, but this is brilliant. You know what I mean? I remember meeting Pointy there, and Pointy was like, "Who you?" Nobody even knew me. And I'm there with Baxi, just doing the launch and that. But the more I've looked into it, yeah, social media can lead to some big things. And so I haven't been doing it a year yet. But I'm really glad I got into it. I'm really enjoying it. It's been really good.
So when did you start social media? You said less than a year ago.
Yeah, November.
Right, bloody hell. So you really have skyrocketed on TikTok then.
Yeah. It's just come out nowhere.
I started a year ago, and I'm nowhere near the numbers you are on TikTok. But I was a bit hit and miss with TikTok. Like, yeah. I had more focus on YouTube and a bit on Instagram. Yeah. And it has been a year because I've been having reminders of on this day last year. Yeah. On TikTok, and I find, well, I've had nothing come from TikTok itself, as far as I'm aware. Because I have a lot come through email, so they find me off. They don't actually say where they find me from. But yeah, over social media, like you say, there's a lot of opportunities come your way. And I know people that they run the social media as a separate business, and it can be done if money is to be earned on social media. So for any apprentices that are getting into the game and thinking of going self-employed, I'd say get into social media as early as possible, because that's one of my regrets, is not jumping on the bandwagon years and years ago. I think if I could have done it, if I could do it all again, I would start right at the beginning and document from being an apprentice all the way up to now, because it'd be not only just for other people, but it'd be nice for me to look back on and think that's how I started, and that's how I am now. I wish I'd done
the same as well. To be honest with you, I wish I'd gone into it a lot sooner, because, I mean, like I said, I only started less than a year, and I'm pretty lucky. Well, I am lucky that I've actually gone up, because if you go on TikTok now, every man and his dog's a plumber, and they're all chucking videos out there. But yeah, like you said though, I've got like followers on TikTok, and But on Instagram, you're like up here and I'm down here. It's horses for courses, eh? Like,
It's mad.
really is.
It is really mad.
Yeah,
It's
it is
like
crazy.
just random, just another random one. It's every platform, like you say, is different. Like just throwing a name out there, Glister Services on Instagram is one of the top dogs. He's got hundreds of thousands. Well, probably I don't know if he's got hundreds of thousands, but he's got many thousands of followers. But
Yeah,
then you go on YouTube and you might get 500 views.
yeah,
It just shows you that there's not always that same platform of people watching on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube.
yeah.
So if you can hit the market right and you can get it to a very big audience and you can make a lot of money from it.
Yeah, you can, yeah. Like I said, though, the different platforms use different content and different number of followers. Because I know I've got 17,500 on TikTok, but it's a lot easier to get followers on TikTok than it is any other social media. So I think it is. Like Instagram is.
100%.
I figured out Instagram. That's a grind. YouTube, that's another grind. That's a hard one to get going. But like I said earlier, I think you've just got to have that one video or whatever just to hit, and that's when your platform really takes off.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially like you say I find on Instagram if you got a reel that hits nice, it even tells you they followed you from this reel, they've watched this reel, and they've followed you from that.
Yeah,
which is a good little feature on Instagram.
Yeah.
I had you might be watching, I don't know. I put a short out the other day on YouTube. Well, I put it across all my social media. Exactly the same thing. I didn't edit it or anything. Put it on YouTube. And I had a guy saying me, what? He went, what the fuck? Like, saying, what's the point of this video? I'm like, it's a nothing video. I just put it up for the sake, not for the sake of putting a video up, but to help the algorithm, because with YouTube, if you're not consistent, you're not putting videos up, you just get left behind.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with me when I first started out. I was uploading twice a week, and then I had I've heard people say it, content creator burnout, and you can't think of anything to film, or you can't be bothered filming. And I didn't upload for about 2 months, and then I've just never been able to catch up to what I was getting before.
Yeah.
I find that even if putting something out every day or every other day, it just helps the algorithm.
Yeah, I found that after I've had this break now. I said I do no social media while I'm away. I'm there. Family break. I need to have a break. With YouTube, you can schedule it, so that was good. I could schedule it. Yeah. But then for my next YouTube, it was continuing on from the first fix I'm doing. But at the time, they had scaffolders, they had the electricians, about 6 builders there. Plus, there's 4 me and 2 other lads that I employed at the time to help me out. And it was just that noisy and that hectic. I was like, I can't film this. Like, I was jet lagged anyway. So then I was like, I can't film this. So I had nothing for YouTube and I had nothing for TikTok. And if you don't post nothing on TikTok for about 3 days, mate, they think you're dead anyway. So that is really, you have to keep on top of that. So I think I am conscious, like you just said, I've missed YouTube for a week, and I'm thinking I've got to get another video out. But it can burn you out. It really can. I'll say, I had that week break, mate, and it was so nice just to have a break from doing video. I mean, I do enjoy doing it, but to have that break and just step back was nice.
Yeah, 100%. How you find like managing work life and family life? Like, I know you say you've got children yourself.
Yeah, 2 lads.
Yeah. So, how do you find managing work life, social media, and family life? Do you find it difficult, or is it a dream to you?
No, it's difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Being self-employed is difficult. Without even forget about the content stuff. Being self-employed, it is hard to manage your family time because you're constantly running the business. Now, if people think they're getting self-employed, thinking they're going to work Monday to Friday and have a better way of life, you got no chance. You're on 24/7. There's always something going on in your brain, or there's always something to deal with. But the rewards are there. So when you chuck social media into the mix, all of a sudden you're running a business. You're trying to be a plumber. You're trying to be a content creator. Trying to be dad. Trying to be husband. It can overtake your life. So yeah, I mean, like tonight, I've got back at 6. I've got back at 7. Tried to eat my tea. I'm straight and alive, but thankfully I've got my wife. She's really supportive. I mean, I've always been a gas engineer, and she knows from about October onwards she loses me anyway because it's silly season. I'm out the door most of the time, but that's when I make most of my money. So she is used to picking up the slack when I'm working a lot. I think at the start of the year when I was starting to get a few numbers, I said to her, I said, look, I'm going to really try and push this, but it's going to be nights where I'm coming straight home from work. I'm doing editing. I'm doing voiceovers and that. She says, look, if you want to do it, do it. You know, I'll be here to support you. So, yeah, if anyone's thinking about doing it, get a supportive wife. But what I do now is I don't do work on weekends. I might do quotes in my books, but I don't do work. That's the time that the lads know they get with the dad. They understand that sometimes in the week I ain't going to be there. I mean, there's times I miss bedtime and stuff like that, but sometimes it is sacrifices you've got to make to push your business forward or you want to social media. So it can be hard.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I'm not one. I'm the same as you. Not one for working weekends. I believe that weekends are for family, and there's enough work and enough money to be made Monday to Friday. You don't need to work Saturday and Sunday. Don't get me wrong. I have done Saturday and Sundays before when needed to, and my partner understands that. If I'm under the caution, I need to do an extra day here or there.
Yeah.
But it's once in a blue moon. So if you are going self-employed, anybody that is watching, don't feel like because you're a business owner now, you have to work every hour under the sun. You've got to rest and look after your mind because it can truly burn you out. And I've gone through it. I've been depressed about work before, and it's just you need that step back and just remember work's not everything. There's a lot more to life than helping other people.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to look after yourself before you can look after. You can't look after yourself. You can't look after other people. So that's what I say.
Yeah.
So I don't think we've got many other questions in the chat. Let's have a look quickly. Hi, Loafer Sheffield. You've really have spammed the comments. What? Yeah, I'm not even going to go there with that grinder stuff. Hi, Fred Pan. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for watching. If anyone has got any comments, please do comment below. It is much appreciated. We've got a new one. Jordan P. It's a bit of a long one. Hey, fellas. Not that one. Not working. Too long. Hey, fellas. Any advice? I've just passed my ACS for CCN1 and CENWAT. Applied for loads of jobs, but nowhere will take me on without cookers, fires, and no experience. Paid £6,000 for my course. Have you got any advice for Jordan?
I think we had someone with the same question. I think people do look for cookers and fires. Some companies do because they do landlord certs or any type of certification. So yeah, I mean, it is a bit. I mean, you've invested that money and you want to get into a job. I mean, you could look at, if you haven't done it yet, look at bigger companies that only do boilers. It is going to be hard though about your cookers or fires, mate. To be honest with you, I mean,
sorry, go on.
No, that's all right, mate. Go on.
I was going to say, Jordan, try your local council because I know a lot of councils now don't actually let their tenants have gas fires anymore in properties, so you won't have to cover gas fires that were just the boilers. And I think the council don't even supply the gas cookers anymore. These the tenants' responsibility. So try your council; they might be able to help you out. Or go to some agencies; they might be able to You might be able to subcontract to council or even bigger properties, bigger companies. Sorry. But try it out and don't stop, and just try to be approachable when you do email even private companies. Try welcome yourself to them. I have it before where people come with the wrong attitude from the off on the first message or first email, and you just know instantly you shouldn't judge a book by a cover, but we're all human and we all do. So try to be approachable on your first initial impression. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, that's right.
So yeah, we've been going for 45 minutes. If you haven't done already, please do like. It does help the algorithm and just helps YouTube show us to more people and gets more people watching. So yeah, make sure you do follow Luke and check him out on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Yeah. So last question before we call it a night because it's getting late. What are your future plans? One for business, and one for social media as well.
Okay, so the business it's slightly changed. If you'd asked me that in June, it would have been I was going to expand into bathrooms. Believe it or not, I actually got my first employee. He was next builder. I've done tiling, everything like that. His work was spot on, so I employed him. So that was where it's going to be. He could help me with the bigger jobs, conversions. So I'll train him in the gas, and he'd help me training the bathrooms, and we was going to expand like that. But it didn't work out, so I let him go. So future plans for the business is move away from bathrooms, get more gas work. I want to be in the boiler market for straight swaps mainly. That's where the money is in the gas engineers. Breakdowns and boiler installs. That's what I want to be doing mainly. So moving away from the plumbing and that. So yeah, what I think once I've established that, I can look again the apprentice to help me on the bigger jobs. Once I've got that flow work coming in with the boilers and that. So yeah, hopefully in I'd say 5 years, I'm looking hopefully to have maybe 2 employees behind the business. With the social media, I am trying to grow YouTube now. It's something I don't even think of, to be honest with you. I thought, who's going to want to watch me? But I've got it on all socials now. I must be doing something. I thought, you know what, I'll stick it on YouTube. And to be fair, it's grown quite quick. I started in May. I think I'm up to 1,300 subscribers nearly. So I'm just going to carry on doing YouTube. I do like doing YouTube as well. You can get longer videos in there. I can explain myself better. I think it's better value. So yeah, I'm going to try and expand YouTube. Carry on doing my TikToks. Try and break into Instagram. I used to grind. More importantly, it's still enjoy it. I want to be like here in 2-3 years saying I still enjoy social media. I don't want to be at a point where I don't enjoy it. Because there's avenues where you can go on social media, which are dark places. So I've heard. So as long as I'm still enjoying it, I'll still do it.
Yeah, there can be some nasty people on social media, and especially over certain platforms more than others. Going back to your how you want to go forward in future, you were talking about getting more boilers. What's your go-to boiler? What are you installing at the moment?
So I'll be honest with you, I haven't installed a boiler for a few months. I don't know what it is, but it just totally dried up. So I am looking into the Worcester 1000. To be honest with you, I am a Baxi man. I love a Baxi. I know they've just relaunched their 800 series, which is basically it's platinum and a compact, but it's basically the old 800 and the old 600, which is good. But you can only get that from independents. But the price is good, 10-year warranty. But the Worcester 1000, it's got Worcester on the front for a really cheap price. So I am actually going down to Worcester. I've organised to go down and have a proper look at their factory at the 1000 and see if I like it. Right. So yeah, I might be doing an offer on the 1000s as straight swaps. So I'll say I'm 70% Baxi, 30% Worcester for boilers.
Yeah, I've never been a lover of Worcester. I've recently not just moved over, probably about 6 months now. I've moved over to Baxi. Spoke to Michael out, my local rep, and he got me onto the courses and not fell in love with the boiler. I just thought their service and the boiler well built, good product, and he was saying, don't get me wrong, it's not the perfect boiler. There's no such thing as a perfect boiler. They all have their own individual faults. So I thought he went, give one a try, see what you think of it, and let him know. And I loved it. I was fitting Ideals before. And I think they've dropped in standards a little bit, Ideal, in my opinion, over the last few years. So that's why another reason why I did move over to Baxi. And I do like their new the Combi 2s, what they called 802s. I've fit a few of them now. But like you said, I haven't fit a boiler for a few months now. I did a boiler move the other day, but other than that, I supply and fit one. I've not done one for a few months now. I find it's quite hard to compete with your bigger companies. For boilers. I've had a lot of jobs where you price it up and they'd say, "Oh, we've had a price off so and so," and they can do it tomorrow, and I'll pay half now and I'll pay half in 6 months' time. I can't compete with that. And
Yeah,
customers,
that is.
I know you can get finance things now set up, but it's an initial layout of that finance, setting that finance up. It's a bit hard, in my opinion.
It is, yeah. I mean, that's where one-man bands can't compete. I mean, I'll get a lot around my area, mate. People on the internet say, "Oh, Box can do it for this much." So I'm like, yeah, but you phone them up if something goes wrong. You through to a call centre. If I fit it for you, you speak to the manager director of the company. Like, it's my company online. I'm going to be out there sorting it out for you. You're going to get that personal touch. That's the way I try and get around that. But yeah, he's getting old. That's the only reason why I'm having my head turned by this Worcester 1000. It's because it's just got Worcester on the front, mate. And you ask people when they want a new boiler, what boiler do they want? They want a Worcester. Now, if people don't know or they want a recommendation, boom, straight backseat I am on. Get the backseat. It's the middle ground. It's a really good British-made boiler. 10-year warranty. After sales is really, really good. Like, I had a problem with one of my installs, mate. It was there the next day sorting it out. Got really good aftercare. As I said, it's all brassy inside. It's a really good boiler. So my go-to is a backseat. It's just, when you ask customers what they want, I'm always saying Worcester. And that Worcester at the moment, the 1000, it's cheap. You know what I mean? And I think Worcester, I'm coming out with a finance package. That's another thing I'm going to look at with them. They can help you set up the finance. But I want to see if it's going to pay off, really. But yeah, I mean, if you could get a flyer out there that says a new Worcester boiler for like £1,500, £1,600, like, you're going to sell a few, I think.
Yeah, you get a few coming back for that prices. I find with Worcester, they're the only brand that's advertised on TV.
Yeah.
What other manufacturers do you see advertising? They are well advertised box of plastic, in my opinion. I've not fit any of the new. Is it 4000s? Is it or 2000s? I've not fit any of them. I've seen a few of them. I've not worked on any of them, and I've heard mixed reports on them.
Yeah, we're fitting one at the moment, mate. Well, me mate, he sold them a 4000, and it's big, it's bulky, it's heavy. The PRV, like, it comes with like a template, and you pipe it all up ready, and it still don't fit anyway. It's brass on the plastic with the PRV. I don't like them. I just don't like them. They're too big, mate. I don't know what we're thinking making a boiler that big. It's massive.
Is it a big boiler?
Yeah.
Is did he? Because I've not fit a Worcester for years now. Must be at least 5, maybe even longer. Is it still on a frame? Do you pipe up the frame and then the boiler fits on top of the frame? Is it still the same?
That's it. Yeah. So you can pipe it all up, then fit it.
I used to find it never line up.
No.
It never ever line up, and you were bending that frame to try to get them nuts to line up. It never would.
It's still the same problem, mate. Like, this one that we've been fitting is in the airing cupboard, so I might have to get underneath to support him. We have to get it in. It's so heavy for a modern boiler. It is ridiculously heavy. It's bulky, and we put it on. I was like, "Is that lined up?" It's like, "No, lift it up." So we're there lifting, moving it. It's just a nightmare. Then when we got it in, one of the washers fell off. It was like, I've got to take it off to get the washer bloody back in. Still I solved that.
Yeah, I think manufacturers need to do a bit. It's not just Worcester. Every other boiler does have its own faults. I think sometimes you wonder when they do these, before they release it, they give it to a certain set of people and say, "Oh, how was it?" Like, who are they giving these to, and why they're not pulling these certain things? I know, like, Ideal, they had that fault with they moved the pressure relief valve to the middle next to the condensate with the rubber quick release thing. They have changed it back now, but they shouldn't have ever done it in the first place. And whoever the market research should have pulled it on that before they'd even released the boiler.
Yeah, there is a few things that they find out afterwards. It can be tricky. It can be tricky for manufacturing when they get a new Bulldog, because nobody likes change anyway. You change a Bulldog, I mean, there was an outcry when Baxi changed the 800. There really was, to the 800 too. There's like a lot of people. A lot of people still don't like it. I've honestly, installing it, I found it no different. I just found it, just as easy to fit. The only difference is that the condense is a bit tighter on the left, but you can still get it. But yeah, people just don't like change, mate.
I I found the only two things I don't like about the 802s is, well, one it's not that I don't like is now I know about it, it's okay. But when I first fit it, if you're wiring on open firm on the old 800s, you would leave you take the link wires out.
Yeah.
But now on the new ones, you leave the link wires in. So the first time I wired it, I was like, "What the hell's going on here? What won't fire up?" I rung Michael, the Baxi rep. He didn't know. But anyway, I got it wired up on 230 volt, and I got it working fine. It wasn't until I went to install a show and I spoke to some of the guys there, and that's when I found out that because they put a new PCB on, it's all wired up different. But now I know about that. It's not a problem as such, but it's just a bit of a why change something that works. And then the other one is the wiring, where the wires go into the PCB, because they come up from below. When you push the panel up, it doesn't stay up because they're on magnetic like clips. It just pushes it back down, I find.
Yeah, first thing I told him, mate.
I've had a lot of people complain about that.
Yes, first thing I told him, mate. I said, "You still have fix the magnets, have you?" So, no, we put stronger magnets in. I said, "You ain't, man, trust me." I said, "You put 5 go into that, mate." I said, "Boom, straight back down. Still don't hold." I said,
I just had 2-3 calls going into it, and it was just falling down.
Yeah, it's still the same problem, mate. Another thing that I picked up with him, I was like, "There's no way you could have got a pressure gauge on the outside." And they said, "Look, because of the way it was built, like they couldn't get it." I said, "Okay." So the display, it basically says "okay" and the pressure. I said, "Once you explain that to the customer, it ain't so bad." I said, "But if you got on any like tutorial video that people do, first thing they say is check your pressure gauge, and the picture of the pressure gauge is a round dial." So I was a bit disappointed with that. And like you said about
I do like a standard pressure gauge on the front of the boiler, especially for like elderly customers. It's just a lot easier to understand.
It is, yeah. Like you said about the wiring as well, they've put it right next to the gas pipe. And obviously, you've got to keep your wiring away from the gas pipe. That's another thing I said, like, can you move that? I was like, they said they'd look into it. Another one was de-aeration. You know the de-aeration? Every time you turn the power off, turn it back on. Yeah, so you have to wait for it to de-air. I was like, there's no way you can change the software, so it only does that. Because obviously, if you fault find you, sometimes they tell you turn the power off, turn it back on. You've got to wait like 7 minutes for it to de-air. I'm like, do you really need to do that every time? They're like, it's just the way the PCB is.
Yeah, I think was it Michael or it might have been an installer show. You can turn that off, but it turns it off completely. It doesn't. So you can do it when you first commission it, and then you can turn it off. It doesn't do it.
No, I don't know that.
You've got to go into parameters and stuff like that. So something to look into. So we've been going for pretty much an hour now. We'll probably call it a wrap. Any questions? Let's have a look. Ginger Jason again. Do either of you have Offtec? I don't have Offtec. Do you?
I don't know, mate. Nah.
No. Is that Offtec oil? Is that oil?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, but I don't have all LPG. I'm just natural gas.
Well, I do have my LPG, but I don't. I haven't done it since college, so just because there's no caravans or anything like that around here. Everyone's got gas. I work. I don't know about yourself. I work fairly local, so
same.
Yeah, I don't. Everyone's got gas around here. I don't really need the LPG. My old gaffer does do it, but I never picked it up really. Law for Sheffield. Serious question. Do you remind your customers about extended warranties on boilers being null and void if you don't pay for an annual service?
Yeah. So when we install a boiler, we've actually set ourselves service plans up. So what we say, we noticed some of our customers were with British Gas, and they'd phone us to get a quote off us because they ain't too expensive. But what they wanted to say with British Gas for was the insurance. And it was like, well, what can they offer you? I said, well, they put in their boiler and give us a 5-year warranty, and they'll service the boiler every year. I was like, well, what about if I service it every year and you pay me every month? I was like, yeah, we'd do that. So I thought, there's a market here. So I've set up service plans now where customers pay a certain amount each month, and it will cover their service. But it won't just cover a standard service. It will cover a full strip down when it needs it. And I'll remind them when it needs doing it. So it keeps their boiler warranty up to date. But I've got 2 different ones. I've got one just for service and one service the boiler, and I'll look after the heating system. So they've got the 10-year warranty with Baxi, let's say, looking after the boiler, and if they pay me every month, I'll look after the radiators, the valves, the pipework, stuff like that. So it's exactly like having British Gas home care, but obviously they've got a new boiler with a warranty.
I keep meaning of setting something like this up, and I've been asked a few times of customers, do I have some sort of service plan? So I might have to pick your brains on that and just see how much you're charging and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't expect to go into that on live. So yeah, we'll call it a day. Mr. Ferry, I think, is that Professor Plumber, Samuel Ferry?
Sam Ferry, yeah.
A bit late. You're a bit late to the party. We're all going now. So you will have to watch this back if you do want to watch it again. It will be in my Diary of a Plumbing and Heating Engineer podcast thing on YouTube. So do check that out. Like I say, if you haven't commented, if you haven't liked and subscribed to both myself and to Luke, please do. The links are in the description below. Have you got any final plugs or any final words you want to say?
No plugs. I mean, with social media, it's just one of them. Like, if you like my content, you'll follow me. So if you don't like it, just move on. But yeah, also I'm just loving doing it at the moment, and that. Yeah, I'll say, look, with apprentices, like you said earlier, I'll do my social media mainly on TikTok to help the apprentices and people new to the industry. So yeah, I'll say with apprentices, just knuckle down, open these, shut that, and wear your knee pads. There you go. There's free advice for apprentices.
And put your phones away. Leave your
phone. That's it. Stay off your bloody phone.
Yeah. No, thank you for joining us. It's much appreciated, and I've really enjoyed this one. It's been a good laugh, and I've learned a lot about yourself. And
thanks for having me, mate. Really enjoyed it.
No, more than welcome. Take it easy, and thank you all for watching. See you later.
See you later.